So a new brand out of Australia called Dribblr Hockey contacted me saying would I like to review a couple of their sticks? And I obviously said yes. So the two sticks that they've sent me are from their custom range. Now their custom builder lets you choose length, carbon percentage, number of cores, the bow, and finally the fabric that finishes it. So they give you several options and they explain the benefits and negatives to each one. You can also upload your own custom paint job for them to apply if you want to. So the first of the two sticks that they sent me is a 100% carbon fibre ultra low bow stick which has the carbon braid finish. The stick also has a low balance point. The second stick that they sent me is also 100% carbon fibre. This is a low bow stick and has the chrome checkerboard finish. Now this stick has a mid balance point, so it has a slightly lighter feel. Both sticks came with a factory fitted chamois grip. If your stick comes with a factory fitted chamois, I would always recommend reapplying them because I never think they come very well fitted. So the first stick, when it came to feel, had quite a light feel for a stick with such a low balance point. It gave good feedback on the ball, so when dribbling around it was very nice to move the ball. It gave you a lot of feedback so you knew where the ball was and it was very easy to dribble with. The low bow made it very easy to get under the ball if I wanted to do 3D skills. It was very nice for jinking the ball around and using skills to beat defenders. When it came to hitting, the first stick had a very nice sweet spot. So you could really connect well with the ball and you had a good power transfer. If you did miss the sweet spot, you did get a fair amount of vibration coming back through the stick. Now, a little bit of this is because of how the chamois was originally fitted. In my first recording session, it actually came off. So I was holding on to the end of the stick and the grip itself was very loose. That made the vibration feel much worse than it actually was. One thing I did find after I had refitted the grip was that when hitting with this stick it was a little bit difficult to control the height of the ball. So when I wanted to hit flat it would sometimes come 6 inches off the ground. When I was trying to hit it into the top corners I was sometimes getting under it too much and it was lifting over the crossbar. This also carried through onto slaps, so it was very hard to keep the ball perfectly flat on the ground. It would often just bobble along. Now this wouldn't be enough to make it dangerous, so you would feel uncomfortable slapping passes to your teammates at the back post, but it might be enough to just put them off getting very low to get the deflection. When it came to hitting on reverse, it was a completely different story. Much like on the open stick side, hitting tomahawks on the reverse edge had a great power transfer. You could really ping the ball into the corners. Now what I found to be very different was how easy it was to control the height of the ball when hitting on reverse. It was very easy to get under the ball and lift it into the roof of the net, but it was equally easy to hit straight through the middle of the ball and keep it dead flat to the ground. I had much more confidence hitting it flat on reverse than I did on open stick side with this. There was also substantially less feedback if you happened to catch it wrong. When it came to flicking, I found the stick to be a little bit difficult at first. The thickness of the head made it a little bit difficult to get under the ball and to really lift it high into the air for flicking shots at goal. As opposed to with 3D skills where it was very easy to get just under the ball enough to dink it 6 inches into the air to take it over a defender's stick, getting right under the ball was much more difficult. With a little bit of practice I could get under the ball and lift it comfortably. So what I found was that when the stick was more vertical, it was very hard to get under the ball. So when I was getting lower dribbling, it meant that I was hitting the head at an angle that made it quite easy, but when I was flicking shots I was much more upright. So I was almost getting down low as if I was trying to sweep the ball and then coming up into the flick, and that made it substantially better. Similar to difficulty with flicking the ball for shots, I found that getting under the ball for overheads was a little bit difficult. Now, because I'd done the flicking practice earlier on in the day, when it came to flicking overheads I knew that I had to get low. What I found was I was almost picking the ball up for overheads, like I was picking up a drag flick. So I was picking the ball up very upright, but then getting down very low to get under it, to lift the ball high into the air. It was still possible to chuck overheads from a more vertical position, but I couldn't get the same distance and height as I was when I was getting down low. When it came to drag flicking, I found the stick was exceptional for the pickup stage. So it was very easy to get the ball, roll it up into the shaft of the stick and accelerate through for the shot. When I first picked the stick up, I did find it a little bit difficult to flick right because I just couldn't get the ball to release at the right time. Now this could be because at the time the grip was still loose before I'd refitted it, but also because I was dropping down to a 36.5 stick when I'm more used to using a 37. With a little bit of practice, I was able to get under the ball and I could pick the corners out with ease. So I could put the ball into the top left, top right, bottom left. I did find it a little bit more difficult to put it right into the corners with this stick as I have with other sticks that I've reviewed in the past. But again, that could be down to some of the issues I've already mentioned. So this stick was really good at actually transferring power through the drag flick. You could really utilise the bow to whip through the ball and fire it into the corners. This makes it great fun to flick with. So this is a great all-round stick. It has good power for hitting, slapping and flicking. It really excels in drag flicking, although the thick head does make it a little bit difficult to get under the ball when chucking overheads. Now some of these problems are likely due to the fact that this is a custom stick that wasn't designed for myself. So it isn't tailored quite to my liking. But what I would say is the Dribblr stick builder is really excellent and the value for money is fantastic, being that you can get a custom stick in the UK for £140 plus shipping.